Live. Okay, we are live. Amanda.
Hello, good morning, people.
Okay, so I am here with my good friend Amanda, and I never say her last name right because I want to say Layman or Layman, but I think it's Layman.
Layman works. I've been called both
Yay!
names.
So this is Amanda Layman. She's with Stockton Mortgage, and she has a passion for renovation loans, and I love this, and so I wanted to invite her on with me today to talk to everybody about renovation loans and what they are, why she loves them, how they're good for buyers, how they're good for sellers. So Amanda, tell us first a little bit about you for a minute, a little bit about Stockton Mortgage. Do that.
All right, perfect. Well, good morning, and thanks, Sylvia. You are always so fantastic to do all this stuff with, and I love that you share these messages with people that you never know when they need to hear it.
Right.
So my name is Amanda Layman, and I'm a loan officer with Stockton Mortgage, and I've been helping people finance homes for about 17 years now.
Wow.
And I am very passionate about it. And what really cranks my wheel here is when I learned about the renovation loan years and years ago, and I thought, why aren't more people using this?
Yeah.
Because it doesn't place a limit on you. It doesn't place a limit on holding you back from different homes that you could have purchased that you would have been happier living in. Mm-hmm. And so that's the most beautiful part about it, that it allows you to be creative in your space. And we give you the room to do that with you and your family.
Right. Well, great. Okay. So to start, give me a scenario for a buyer who is looking at homes, and they have a certain budget, and they're looking at homes, but man, if it just had that sliding door out to the backyard, or if it just had the roof could be better, and the seller can't fix it or won't fix it before the close, give us some scenarios of a buyer and how a renovation loan like yours might help.
Great question, and absolutely I can do that. So the perfect scenario is almost the world that we live in today, and really this situation exists at all times for different people. All right, so it just depends on what season you are in life. And let's say that you are approved with your lender for a loan up to $200,000. All right, well, let's use the perfect one at $150.
Okay. Yeah.
I think that we have a nice handful of people in that area.
Yes. Anyway,
we find out, the first step is that you're told what type of loan that you're able to get with $150,000. So let's say that it's a FHA loan. And now your realtor goes in and puts in all the homes in the area that you're interested in for $150,000, only FHA, because that's what your lender said you were approved for, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, there might be 5 or 10 that pop up, and it's they may not interest you. There might be a dozen reasons of why those homes aren't going to work for you.
Right.
Now, where the renovation loan comes into place is a couple different things. First of all, people don't know that they can finance future equity. And what that means is people don't know that they can take a step back and look at houses in a different price range, not their absolute max. So they can look at homes, if they're approved for 200, they can look at homes closer to 150 or 120. Mm-hmm. And here's the beautiful part. They don't have to be FHA approved.
Right.
They can be conventional homes. And typically homes that are listed for sale as conventional, they need a little TLC, a little bit of love, right? So with all this being said, we can take a step back and show people properties that they wouldn't normally even know existed. And we can show them that, listen, we're going to stay within your budget. We're going to stay within your $200,000 budget. We're going to look at some of these houses that are maybe 120 or 130 because they're in the area that you want to live. They have the bones, okay? They're in that school district that you want. But they might not have the extra bedroom. They may not have a finished basement. They might be outdated. They may not meet the minimum updates required for FHA. They may not have that garage that you want, but they have the backyard, they have the trees, they have the area, and that's real estate. So we can create the rest for you, and then we build that into it.
So
that is how it helps the buyer.
Yeah. Okay. So you know, a lot of buyers, you know, they'll say, "Oh, I don't mind doing a little work, but I can't do a fixer up, or I can't take that on." So how is this gonna? How are you gonna, as a lender, gonna help facilitate this whole process, and what is it gonna mean for how long it's gonna take to get into the home, or maybe they can get right into the home? Who does the work?
Great question. So first off, they don't have to do any of the work. That's the beautiful part. And I think right next to that, that's the beautiful part, is that none of the work needs to be done before closing. I'm going to repeat that. None of the work needs to be done before closing. Okay. It's all done after closing. Okay. So the bottom line is, we don't care what the condition of the property is like right now, okay? So we have a licensed builder that will do the work. You can choose that builder yourself. So this process closes like a typical purchase transaction. However, what we do is we will obtain a bid from the builder for your wish list, your need list, and then we married it up with an appraiser to make sure that we support the value. Then that becomes your new sales price. Okay, so you have your sales price plus your repair. So that becomes your new new loan amount, right?
Okay.
You put the minimum amount down on the total in whatever loan program that you're in, and we'll talk about that in a moment. And after closing, that's when the work begins. You have up to 6 months to complete the work, and the builder will complete it with a draw process, similar to a new construction.
Okay. So, but the next question is, so this whole sales price thing. So let's say I go as a realtor and I am working with clients that are approved for $175,000. And we find a house that's $120,000 that needs to be updated. It needs a new furnace, you know, and it needs some work. So there's my cat walking behind me.
I love it. I love the cat.
Here you go. Hi, baby. So we go in, and so we you know, this is the kind of house, like, oh my gosh, everybody's in it. We got to make an offer because there's so many people after it, and so, you know, they're already approved maybe with not a renovation loan, or you know, a different lender that doesn't have these types of products maybe, and we make an offer for, you know, $125,000. It gets accepted, but we still want to do this work. Like, how would that go? I mean, how could I put that together as a realtor to help those buyers? Okay, great. We got that done, and we got the deal, but now we could do some updates. You know, what would that look like? What's going to happen with the extension, the closing, changing the type of financing, you know, changing the sales price, the appraisal? How does that all fit together?
Yeah. So those are all great questions. And so to paint that picture better, the first step is when someone is approved by a house, right?
Yes.
So what I like to learn about people is, what is their appetite for renovation? What do they really want out there, right? So first we talk about a comfortable payment.
Yeah.
First and foremost, what is the maximum amount that you're comfortable paying a month? And they show them what that looks like on paper.
Okay.
And then I ask them, what kind of houses have you been looking at? And maybe there's a bit of a gap between there. So we have that hard conversation of, well, to go up another $20,000 is going to increase your payment $100 more. How do you feel about that? Is it more important for you to have a payment $100 less, or is that really going to make or break you at the end of the day to make it a lot more convenient for your family to have that finished basement, or to have the extra bedroom or added garage?
Gotcha.
So once we have the conversation and we know that this is the right fit for someone, because you need to have the appetite. It's not going to be right for everyone, and that's okay. This message right now today is going to speak to those that it is right for. Ones that never knew this existed and that are so excited about it, they can't wait to go out there and say, okay, what is my maximum amount? Let's go backwards. like you used with the perfect situation that we found the $120,000 house. We have a budget for $175. Anything in between there is what I can work with to do the things that I need to do to bring the house livable. Maybe we need a new roof, new windows. Maybe it's just a reconfiguration of the space to make it more desirable for what I want when I'm living there. And so from the realtor perspective, I would let the agent know we need a little bit more time. Okay, so we close these in an average of 55 days. So let's just write the contract out and set the right expectations up front for 60 days. Okay, now on the other side, someone that's listing the property knowing that the home is already distressed, the same feedback keeps coming back to this listing agent, right? Yeah, you know, it's too small, or it just didn't have enough bedrooms, or it's just really outdated. And you're thinking as an agent, yeah, I put that in the comments, right? Didn't you know it was a 2-bedroom? Didn't you know it was only, 1,200 square feet? Or it didn't have a garage? Whatever it might be. So they're hearing that story all the time.
Yeah.
Well, now we get to tell a new story. Now our story is, we have a buyer that loves this house. And first they're going to say, really? Were they in the same listing that I had? Are you sure you got the right address? And then you're going to tell them, hey, listen, we're going to do a renovation loan, okay? And we know there are things that need to be fixed on it. And they're going to say, shoot, so you're not going to beat me up so much maybe in price like everybody else is trying to. Because I've already priced it right. That's why it's so cheap, right?
Right.
So they love these loans because they understand what's holding them back from being able to present it and sell it for more money in the market. They feel better that you're going to be going in and you are already picking it apart to make it what you want. We're going to have a builder come in and we're going to be changing the space. So the time frame is huge.
Okay.
And so setting it up for a closing to happen in 60 days is great.
Okay.
And then in between that time, I think the biggest key point that's different than anything else is just having the builder walk through and present the list and put the bid together. So then we marry it up with the appraisal, and then the rest is pretty much like any other transaction.
Okay. And then so you kind of touched on it, and we talked about how this can be good for buyers, and I do want to mention all the different renovation programs that you have, but quickly first, for a seller who is like, I want to sell, but there's just, I can't afford all the repairs that I'm going to have to do to get to sell it. I feel, because that's what I hear a lot. Like, oh, it won't pass inspection. I hear, it's this or that, and so I just got to sell it to cash from one of these iBuyer programs because I can't put it on the market. It won't go. So let's speak to them those sellers. How is this good for a seller and maybe a listing agent who's got a seller like that, or a potential seller? What can we do for them?
This just warms my heart.
I know, it's
just
fun.
You saying this, I just can't wait to just tell you this, okay?
I know, it's fun.
All right, so the seller. Let's talk about the seller. Let's give the seller some love today with my love shirt on, right?
Yes, exactly.
So some seller love. First of all, we can open the door to more buyers because your home's distressed and it may only be a cash or conventional situation. You're obviously limiting the funnel and making it more narrow to the people that can see your property, because you're not opening the door to an FHA buyer. You're not opening the door to a VA buyer or a rural development buyer. So all these other types of people that are approved for another type of loan, they're not going to be able to come see your house that might be absolutely perfect for them. With a renovation loan, you can do that. And here's why: because we do not care about the as-is condition. So first off, you can market your property using multiple programs, and in the agent remarks, let people know that this home will also qualify for an FHA renovation, a VA renovation, a conventional renovation, and an RD, which is rural development renovation. Okay?
That's amazing.
So now we've opened the floodgates and we can attract a lot more buyers to your house, number one. Number two, let's say that maybe they don't have the cash to be able to put into the property. But as a listing agent, you tell them, goodness, you know, if you were to just, you know, update this kitchen, I could get so much more for your house, right? I mean, it makes a big difference on the market. And there's the opportunity for them to refinance, because you can do refinance renovations. So they can refinance the home and put the work into it to build it up so that they could sell it for more. So there's a couple things that work both ways, hand in hand, to help buyers and sellers in this low inventory market to sell their properties quicker, to attract more borrowers, to have less stress, and to create more opportunity.
That's beautiful. It's exciting. Well,
it is so exciting.
I know.
I can see why I love it, right?
Yeah, well, it is exciting because it's a niche that people don't understand enough or take advantage of or don't realize what's available. So this is good. So, you know, you and I are going to be talking more in the future and doing videos to kind of flesh this out a little bit and talk about, you know, the different aspects and more information, because there's so much to this. And so, but the first step is, if somebody has, you know, is curious about this, a buyer or a seller, curious about this, you can reach out to one of us to get more information, and we can start with that sit down conversation to see where it goes and what that person needs. So, and I love that about you too, is that you know, care about that particular individual and how you can customize it for what their goals are. So that's great. So So I appreciate your time today, and we will look forward to doing more of these talks on my page here, on my She Sells GR page, to talk about renovation loans and different aspects to help buyers and sellers and listing agents and buying agents.
Absolutely. I did want to just touch on one thing real quick to make sure that people knew that we have 4 different types of loans available for renovation, so that you're not limited. We have a conventional loan that requires as little as 5% down. So if you're already approved as a conventional buyer, you can also marry it up with our renovation loan, and it's just one loan. Okay, it's not 2 different loans, it's one loan.
Okay.
We have an FHA loan. So if you're an FHA buyer putting 3.5% down already, you can do this with a renovation. We have a VA loan. So being a veteran with no money down, you can do a renovation loan. And then we're super excited that we launched our new product, which is rural development. And now you can be an RD buyer that utilizes a renovation loan. And again, it's going to open the door to so many more homes for you to look at when you put the renovation loan into perspective.
Yes. Yeah, I know. And that RD that's amazing, because I don't think anybody else is doing that. And I thought even just VA renovation offering was amazing too. So, because I worked with several VA buyers, and, you know, it's just, they get stuck because a VA appraiser just needs, you know, the property to offer more where the seller can't fix it, or it can't go down in price, or whatever the case may be. And so it's just really exciting.
That's right. It is very exciting. And I'm most excited because what I am excited about is what other people get to experience because of the platform that we've created for them. So how many lives is this going to touch and change, Sylvia, after today?
Yeah,
that's exciting.
It is. Awesome, Amanda. Well, thank you so much for summarizing that. And we can delve deeper into those individual products as time goes on, and provide that more information. Like, you know, I've heard you say things, you know, and I don't even want to talk about it really now, but I just want to mention it, you know, if you you know, purchase a duplex and you're going to live in it, and it needs to be updated, that's a beautiful thing. And, you know, I mean, that part gets really exciting. So anyway,
it's so good. Yeah, it's also good, and I can't wait. And we will completely deliver that message. So you guys just hang on tight, and we'll have some more goodies for you, right?
Yeah. So this is like, you know, we're totally geeking out on
I know, right?
Okay. Well, thank you so much. Okay. And have a great day. I'm gonna end our live video, but you and I can talk afterwards. But thank you so much, Amanda.
Yay! Thanks.